Good evening, and welcome to the Poetry of Justice show with Jackie Ray Phillips here on YikesRadio.com and AccelerateRadio.net. Here on the Poetry of Justice show, this is where social consciousness meets the arts. And what we do is we select topics that spark the interest and awareness of social diversity, ranging from arts, entertainment, and social justice at large, leaving our listeners thinking and saying,
YikesRadio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are the sultry sounds of my mentor. His name is Mr. Kevin Nash. Mr. Kevin Nash is the owner of this proprietorship here at Accelerated Radio. And so I always take the time to give a very special shout out and warm welcome to Mr. Nash, because if it were not for his brainchild and what he so loves to do here in his brainchild, I wouldn't be able to do what I love to do on Saturday nights, which is to come here and to do my show. And then I also like to give a very special shout out. She's now with me today, to my amazing and gorgeous sister. Her name is Lori G, aka the Benefactor. She's now with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. She is on grandmommy duty, so we just want to give her a very special shout out and say we miss you, Lori G. Here on the Poetry of Justice show, she helps keep the wheels turning here. KT, I think you remember my sister from the movie set, sir. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, then I'd like to give a very special shout out to G Babies Catering LLC Incorporated, ladies and gentlemen. You can find G Baby Catering. He is most notably Chef Mac on Instagram, and that is at GBABBIESLLC.com, ladies and gentlemen. So I want you to go there and check out Chef Mac. And then I also like to give a very special shout out to who I call around these parts, the legendary Lord Rocca. So I'd like to give him a very special shout out and his contributions to us here at the Poetry of Justice show. So, I just like to always give a very special shout out, ladies and gentlemen. And then I also like to go ahead and give a special shout out to, we call around these parts, is the Man of Steel with WMPJ Steelworks Incorporated, ladies and gentlemen. So I want you to check him out if you wanted to have some steel work done, but that's structural steel welding. So I don't know, but anyway, he's a very good, dear supporter of our show here at the Poetry of Justice. And then I'd like to give a very special shout out to APS Muscle Cars Incorporated. And APS Muscle Cars is over in Signal Hill, California. We do vehicle storage there, and we also do custom rebuild on engines and lowriders and hot rods and Harley Davidsons, and you name it, and we can do it for you. So you want to reach out to Memo, that is MEMO, with APS Muscle Cars, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much for being here with the Poetry of Justice show with Jackie Ray Phillips. How are you all doing tonight?
Great.
You doing great?
I'm good. Thank you for having us.
You're so welcome, KT. These microphones are amazing, huh, Rashid? Yeah. I think so. I had to reposition myself, ladies and gentlemen. I had been so accustomed to a certain octave in my voice and make it do what I was so accustomed to it doing, but now that means it's a season of change. So this is my second time on the new and exciting, blessed equipment that Kevin Nash keeps us hot with. So I just wanted to point that out, Rashid. Anyway, so how are you doing tonight, the beautiful Cindy?
Cindy.
Just Cindy.
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good as well, beautiful. Just Cindy, can you tell us a little bit about that beautiful name?
Well, I'm originally from the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
So I've been here in LA around for 9 years so far.
Okay.
And I'm in the entertainment industry. I'm a writer, producer, director, and actress.
Okay, I gotta stop right there. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm finna work. I'm working. I'm finna turn this around on all of you. Everybody see my big fat face. So everybody's gonna see you guys. I'm just working. I'm an old working lady. Just put that there. You know what? Twink, put that over there for me, because you know I'm gonna forget that, right? So we're just gonna get that out of the way. I just want to make sure that that's out of the way, so I can give my full invited attention and all due respect to our amazing guest. So because I was solo tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on the drive-in, me and my Lori's always my wing woman and the queen, but so she wasn't with me tonight, so some things I had to do by myself, which you saw me, I was in here working, which is totally fine. I totally work hard every time. But that meant I just forgot to take my pen out, so I know I sound Rachito over here digging, but Rashid, no. I'm good. I know, we gotta get your mic right.
Okay, there we go.
You good?
Yeah.
All right, Jacindy. You said some big, powerful words over there. Go ahead, Rashid King.
All right. So, Dr. Mama, we have Jacindy, correct?
Yes.
So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? That you're an actor. You're from the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, shall we?
Yeah, sure. Well, what do you guys want to know? What I do?
Well, you said a writer, producer. Okay, so let's
Yes.
start with writing. When did you start? How old were you when you started?
Well, I started writing since I was young. Like, I started writing music,
Okay.
songs. But then,
Songwriting first.
as soon as I started, like, doing acting here, I decided to start writing my own content,
Okay.
my own movies, like series, and all of that, because we had to create our own opportunities.
Right. Like I was saying here about Mr. Kevin Nash.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's one of the things that, like, pushed me to start writing more.
Mm-hmm.
And I found myself not only writing, producing and
Yes.
directing, and
What are
besides
some
that-
of your inspirations?
yes.
So, but what are okay, when you're ready to write and you're ready to, I'm thinking when you said you started with songwriting. So, when you were younger and you began with songwriting, can you maybe tell us a little bit about some of those inspirations? What kind of things move you and drive you to actually sit down? How do the lyrics come to you? Are you moving? Are you kind of in a meditative state? We're
And
going to
it
go
was
deep
love.
here.
I think I was going through something, and then I just like
Love.
grab my notebook and start writing. And after that, because I was doing more like singing, and I like playing the solfeo, the violin when I was in my country. Then I moved here, and I didn't do that here, but I started like, okay, I'm gonna just do acting.
What prompted your relocation here to the States from the Dominican?
My dad.
Your dad. Is your dad still here in the United States?
Yes, he's in Boston.
In Boston. Do you travel back east often?
Not that much.
Not too much.
I love the weather here. But yeah, I go back and forth like in Christmas time to see my family.
Yes. What is it like? What's the weather like at the holiday season?
It's too cold.
It's cold? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. My niece is actually in the Dominican Republic, which is why my sister is on babysitting duties this weekend. So my niece totally, I'm going to give some tea, right? So my niece is just like a bystander. I think she's almost like the maid of honor, but this is like a total 90-day fiance, for real deal, Holyfield kind of a thing going on down right now. So that being stated, my niece's best friend, whose name shall be nameless, my niece's best friend, husband, they're going to be getting married. He's from the DR, and she has flown over and met him once about, I think she went over for the very first time in December and met him, and then everything has been a match so far between the two. They're not doing it live on the show. This is just like the tea about them, like low key. But then, and so now, I don't know exactly what day. I think it was maybe yesterday, maybe today is the actual wedding. But they left, my niece left on Wednesday. So, so they're having a full-on big wedding. So I was like, oh my God, how exciting to be in the Dominican Republic. So I was just wondering a little, my daughters travel all the time, but I'm always just here. I don't know why I don't travel more. But anyway.
travel.
Dude, what about you, KT? Do you do a lot of travel?
I didn't used to, but I do now.
You do now?
Yeah, you guys to get out there and travel. It's more than it's
So
more
much
out there
more to
than what's
see.
in your surroundings. Definitely.
Well, see what happened with me, and there's no excuse, but I'm getting out of my shell, if you will. A lot of it, I'm so used to being a caregiver. So I'm taking care of my children, and then from taking care of my children, it's taking care of my mom, being that primary caregiver. We lost my mom just a couple years ago, and so I've just now learning how, that grief and mourning process has been very dramatic over these last couple of years. But the Poetry of Justice show is a part of my healing and a part of my journey and a part of my grief and mourning, and so many beautiful things have grown from that, because after I lost my mom, I was able to just literally immerse myself into the Poetry of Justice show and give her all of my heart and all of me. So I just thought that was a good little tidbit. And no, this totally sucks, huh, Rashid?
Yeah.
There's some things going on next door, guys, but we're not gonna let that. We're gonna just rise above that energy tonight. We've got some new things going on next door, but no. But I just wanted to say that, we gotta rise above it like this. We gotta always be ready to switch reels. But all of that is to say I was dedicating my time to other things. So, and even with the show, so then it's now I can't think about what not being here on a Saturday night. Are you kidding me right now? You tell it, Pop. What? It's almost like a fish out of water. So, and when I'm away on that Saturday night, it just seems like I don't know. It's a trip. It just seems like, oh my God, it's been like 6 weeks since I've been here, But it was like last weekend was my husband's birthday, so I took last weekend off. So it's like, oh my God, it's been forever since I've been here. So that's why things were a little rickety when you came in, when you guys came in today. So anyway, enough about me. What about you, KT? How's your day, sir?
My day's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually.
I'm so happy you're here tonight.
Yeah,
it's
me
been
too.
taking a cool minute to get you here, sir.
Yeah, the first time I had a little delay in something, I definitely had to reschedule.
It's all
something
good,
else
huh?
came up.
It's no time like the present.
Hey, no.
Right. I have a question for you.
What is it?
What are some of your talents? I have so many more for this gorgeous queen that we will be discussing. But I want to talk to you about your acting and what motivates you, KT.
What motivated me to do acting? I think honestly, really is just stepping out of my comfort zone. So used to making music, I just thought I'd try something different.
Okay.
Something like that's fun, something outside of just sitting in the studio and just, making music all day. I decided to see if I could see myself on a big screen. So I just thought that would be one goal I could kind of conquer.
What do you feel about the power of the imagination? Just the power of attraction and the law of attraction? And to you too, my queen.
It's powerful. That's all I can say.
Have you
It's
used
real
it?
Powerful.
Have you utilized it in your life?
Attraction. How about utilized it? Yeah, definitely utilized it.
Okay, I was just wondering. Okay, what about you, beautiful?
Well, for me, I think like manifesting is something that I've been doing since I was a little girl.
Yes.
Because whatever you say that you want to do, you do it. So for
Definitely.
me, I didn't have any opportunity to come to the United States. When I was 7 years old, I told my mom I'm gonna study in the University of the United States. And she said, we don't have anybody there. My dad is still in the art. Like, I didn't, how I knew, but I knew, and I did. I came here and I studied in the university here. So it was something I said, oh, I've been manifesting everything that I say that I want to do, or I write it down. It happens for me.
See, that is a...
Manifestation is powerful.
It is powerful. Yeah.
I was thinking when you said about seeing yourself on that screen, on the silver screen. Was that how you? Would you say that kind of worked for you in that situation?
Yeah, I can't say it kind of worked for me, but I feel like that's just the first level of where I see myself. It's like, just the very beginning. I see Oscars and, award-winning movies and shows and stuff like that. I feel like we all have a big dream, so a lot of us do what we can to conquer it.
Yes.
To accomplish those goals,
What does the word dream mean to you, Jacindy? The word dream.
Dream for me is like, it sounds like kind of sweet. It means a lot because it's something that I carry with myself every day. And it's something for me that I always say I want to make my dreams come true. Like, I have so many things that I desire and aspire, and it's just like, I know it can happen because if God put that in my heart, it's because He know I can do it.
I know, right? And you said the desires of your heart. What were you thinking about, KT, when we were listening? I saw your eyes dance a little bit. What were your thoughts?
I was listening, honestly listening to everything you were saying, and I just think like it's very inspirational, having you the opportunity to come over here to a land like this and really like try to accomplish what you're going for. I think that's really inspirational for real.
Oh, thank you.
You know.
But it's not been easy.
I
Like, you
know,
know,
yeah.
it's like this
not,
career is
yeah.
not easy. And people think it's easy and it's not. It's a lot, like, you know, a lot of rejections. It's a lot of things that you had to deal with your self-esteem because other people's opinions. And you keep trying and you feel like, am I like really? And you start doubting yourself sometimes and say, am I really gonna do this? Like, for me, quitting is not an option. It's not in my book. It's not in my vocabulary. I'm
We
like,
can't do it.
it's not happening. And I just try to keep myself positive and praying all the time, like knowing that God has
Positivity is
always
key.
have my back.
Yes. Man. What about courage? I'm hearing about self-esteem. I want to go back to self-esteem. I'm taking notes because I've been doing some self-esteem kind of stuff myself. But I want to think about the word courage. Where does your mind go when you hear the word courage, KT?
Courage, having a strong will, having the word courage. How can I put it?
The desires.
Really
I like
just
the
like,
desires.
yeah, that's what I can say. Like really strong-minded, strong-willing. You know, really pushing forward and having the
You s-
enthusiastic to do something like that. I don't know if that's the word I'm trying to say, but
Absolutely. It's your word. That's the right word. Yes, it is. I was just going to ask about the word about your passion. You know, I mean, like rejection. How do you handle, I know that kind of ties into self-esteem. Just rejection, that word in and of itself. How do you handle rejection? Like for a film, a role. Have you ever had to handle rejection? How about we start there? Maybe, you know what I'm saying? I know I used to get rejected.
Yeah,
all
like
the-
for me, it would be what is meant for me is for me.
Right.
We go into auditions and sometimes we want so much a role and sometimes we don't get it and we cry and say, oh, I was perfect for it, but they went with someone with more credit. And then you don't realize the reason you didn't get that role because something better was coming for you on the way.
Right. What about you, KT?
I really like what you said. Like that's pretty much like when one door closes, another one opens.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Rejection, I honestly look at it like I can't really take no for an answer. If I can't get it here, I'm gonna look somewhere else really.
Right.
Or I'm gonna figure out a way to turn that no into a yes.
Right.
As far as rejection, I've been rejected a lot, like going through school by girls, rejection. So I know how to like take it
Yeah.
and really push it to the side.
Me too. It sucks, but what about you, Rashid? You're over there being awfully quiet. I have a quick question about you. About these are pretty strong words over here. What about rejection and courage? Have you ever had a situation where you felt that you had to deal with rejection?
I mean, yeah. Like I've dealt with rejection when it came to first rush of college. Like I was actually rejected. Came back, went to my second choice, graduated from my second choice, and now I'm just here.
Yeah, wow. Oh man, those stories, you know what I mean? You got to just pull yourself back up. That's what I always try to tend to do. Just try to be optimistic. Sometimes it's hard though. I want to just put that out there. I don't know if it's just me. Sometimes it's hard. Maybe it's just me. It could be. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard. It's like, dang it. I could have sworn that should have been for me. But at some point, you got to let it go. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think like everything that comes to life is not coming in an easy way. We had to go through so much since, like, you know, you go to school and after the school you had to go to college.
Yes.
And you go to college and then you had to wait to get a job, and everything is like it's not easy. You have to go through so many steps to get to wherever you want to go. But in that journey that you're going through all of that, you're growing, you're learning, you're getting experience.
Yes.
It's like you cannot go and get the job that you want if you don't have the experience first.
That's so true. Why acting for you? How did that call you, or did you say you called it? What would you say?
Acting for me, it was I always like wanted to, like, love like watching TV. I love movies. I love series. I'm all about like love, drama, and crying, a little bit suspense. I love all of that in comedy. But for me, it was an opportunity that I was working in this place in Boston, and they said, "Oh, they're gonna do an audition here. You wanna come?" And I was a bartender in this place, in this nightclub, and I went there. I didn't have a headshot. I didn't have resume. Yes, I would take. I took one class, Meisner. I went there. Meisner technique in Boston. I took that, but I didn't have anything else. So let me tell you, Boston is not like in that time. It wasn't about a lot of movies or anything like that.
Right.
And I went, did my part. Like, let me tell you, when you get in your head, like usually when you're an actor, we get so much in our head about the lines, about like what we're gonna do next. Me, that I don't even know anything in that time. I was studying. I saw this time, said, "Oh yes, I can do this," and I just started being myself.
Yeah.
And playing the role. Like, how would Giselle would play this? And the funny thing is, I got the job. A lot of people auditioning and they send me an email and say, "We love what you did.
Oh my goodness.
We want you to do in Spanish and English. We love your accent." And when I saw myself, on set, I said, "I'm moving to LA. This is what I want to do."
You said, "This is it. I'm out of here."
Yeah, and that's what I did. And since then, I've been here.
Oh my gosh. That is so exciting. That's the courage. That's that fire. You know what I mean? Like, no, nothing's gonna stop me. Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm
Just hold me
outta
back.
here. Right? Right? Oh my golly, I love it. Like that, like sister always calls that your origin story. You know how Lori likes to say that, Rashi? She likes to say it's your origin story. I have a question though. When you think about film, I mean, let's just put it out there. We can talk some tea. I've been on this borderline tweeter in between being politically correct and just going for it, Rashid. So I think people like it more when you go for it. The ratings definitely go up when people go for it. But I do have a question though, from a film and television perspective. I wanted to start with you, KT. The situation with, I know it's old news a little bit, but it's still not a little bit, but like the backlash with Will Smith and Chris Rock, when you look at that from a perspective from the Actors Guild or from acting, do you have any opinion on that at all?
As far as like what you mean, like
I was just wondering, like, for instance, we haven't seen Will in a while and haven't heard anything from his camp. Not that we would or should. I was just wondering if you had any thought about when the incident occurred. Did it strike anything specific in you at all? You know?
I wouldn't say it really struck anything specific as far as I never really thought of it like that. Like as far as like the acting background.
Right.
I just feel like, well, I kind of put myself in both of their shoes. That's the first thing I did. I put myself in both of their shoes. I kind of figured out what would I do if I was Will, or what would I do if I was Chris.
Right.
And I kind of thought like, if I was Chris, that definitely wouldn't,
It wouldn't fly.
I couldn't let that fly. But if I was Will, I definitely would have. I would have thought about what I did, because I think that would have affected a lot in his career. Honestly.
Yes. I kind of think so. I try to think not, but I kind of think so. What about you, Jacindy?
Well, I like both of them.
Yes.
I really love, Will Smith. His career, he's a very, an amazing actor, and I can see he's an amazing person too. Like, we had to, be a little bit more compassionate when people are, everyone is taking a side, and everyone is the problem that we have is you can do a million things that is right. And you do just one bad thing, and everyone is gonna talk about the bad thing that you did.
Yeah, that's so
And
true.
him not showing up in social media, I understand that maybe he's going through some healing. He's going through an emotional, what happened to him,
It's traumatic.
it's traumatic for both.
Yes, absolutely.
And I really hope Chris Ross understand and say, hey, and they come to an agreement and say, hey, I forgive you.
Yes.
You've been through a lot. And I understand that he's been through a lot because whatever is happening in his marriage. But what I didn't like as a woman is that Jada didn't like support him when he stand up for her.
Yeah, I agree.
You had to see the good things that we are not perfect.
No.
We are gonna make mistakes.
Yes.
And he made a mistake. But he made a mistake. Why? Because he felt that his wife felt some type of way. So
Yes.
as a man, every woman wants a man to stand up for.
Yes.
For her.
At the end
Yes.
of the day, he was defending her.
Yeah. So we had to see all the things that is happening. A lot of people been talking bad about him. About everything that is been happening with Jada and the entanglement and all of that. That I'm
That's
like,
so true.
that's not anyone's business. It's like between them. But I really feel for him in a way that he's an amazing actor, and people are starting just looking at him like he won an Oscar. He was waiting for the opportunity. And it's so bad that that happened there. I know that maybe he's gonna regret that what he did for the rest of his life. But we have to see the big picture that he's not a bad person.
No, right.
And we all made mistakes. And I really hope, like, right now, social media, I'm gonna be honest, not everyone wants to be in social media. Everyone wants to take a break from social media. And plus, like, people like us that we're in the entertainment, we have to be constantly in it because
have to.
your agent, your your fans or whatever, you have to. But we all need a break.
You do, see? And then you start, man, go ahead. I'm sorry. Let me
Break is
listen.
needed.
It is it is like a beast. And then when you get back out there, you're like, damn, here I go back out here again. Do you guys get like that? I don't know.
And like,
No,
I see why I took that break.
Right?
Yeah, it's like for your mental health.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It is. It
And
is.
I really hope like he comes back, but comes back more strong, more like and maybe he's taking his time for himself and loving himself because he's giving so much.
I know. That's the part that kind of hurts. What do you think, Rashid?
I mean, yeah, the fact of the moment, it definitely hurts when your wife, who's supposed to be your ride or die, you're thick and through thin, goes into business for herself, looks out for her career, and just basically leaves you out to dry. Back of my mind. In layman's terms. But I think at the end of the day, Will made a mistake. Will made that choice because he felt that what he was doing at that time was right. Was it the right thing to do? Absolutely not. It definitely wasn't the right thing to do. Was Chris Rock's jab at Jada,
The right thing to do.
was that, appropriate, knowing her health condition? No,
No, it's not appropriate.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
But people will say, well, he's a comedian.
Yeah, that's what they say.
In fact,
Still
he was
hurts.
making a joke. People act as if words don't hurt. People act as if words haven't driven people
Insane.
to like literally fall off a cliff
Yeah.
and just disappear. People act as if that hasn't happened. Sticks and stones
Super hurt.
break bones. Words hurt.
Yeah, they do.
Definitely. I also feel like during the time the media was kind of bashing Will
Yes.
Of course.
because other things in this marriage that was going on. So I feel like
I mean, you had the
Chris
August
Rock felt like it was
Alsina
the good time.
entanglement.
Yeah.
Back in moment, and it's like Will Smith was literally getting hammered. I mean, hammered
Day and night.
since I believe since the pandemic started. Back in moment, since like maybe around like late 2020 when that Red Table Talk happened.
That was in 2020.
Yeah,
Remember, it was during the pandemic.
he was getting all types of shit
Constant. Yeah.
for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 2 years.
Yeah, I guess I'm saying the psychological effect. That's what just the trauma.
And it's like Jada has done nothing to ease that off of him. she has done nothing but add more to it. When does it get to a point where you say enough is enough?
Right.
At what point do we say that you are killing my mental? Either I need you to stop, shut the fuck up, or I have to walk away.
It's
Yeah.
too much.
Because there's only so much of her crap
One can take.
one can take, and he's taken years worth.
A ton of it.
And then there's just been the whole talks about their open marriage.
It is a lot.
It is a lot.
And it's like, then you got talks about like how they raised Willow and Jaden. It's like back when people question their parenting style, we're just like, well, they're fine. They're here. They're vocal.
Right.
They had their own red table talk where they were vocal about some of the things that were happening. Where Jaden wanted to go out on his own.
Yeah.
Back when he wanted to fly from the nest, and it's like they saw it coming. They're like, we probably won't keep him. Back when after he turned 18 and 20, 16,
Gone.
I want to move out. I want to do things on my own.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think honestly the worst thing that has happened for the Smith family, ironically enough, has been these red table talks. Because you've now aired out a lot of
About your family, about your
Yeah.
privacy.
about
Yes.
your family. You aired out a lot of dirty laundry.
Right.
And
right.
that's not just for certain people to see. That's for a lot, millions of people to see. I get the whole open space. It's refreshing, but at the same time, certain shit needs to be... There are certain times where the genie needs to stay in the bottle, which is coincidental enough, which I'm sorry that I made that comparison, especially since he played Genie from Aladdin in the live action, but that's
Said no pun intended.
no pun intended. But that's beside the point. There were times where the genie just need to stay in the bottle, and there were a couple discussions that were had on that red table talk that should have stayed in the goddamn
In
bottle.
the red table talk, man.
Yeah, I really feel like, that if we put ourselves in other people's shoes and how we made them feel, things would be very different. Because
I think
we
so.
cannot keep like judging and just blaming others for what they do. It's just like, how I would feel if it would have happened to me, how I would react to it.
Right. Empathy.
Exactly.
Yes.
It would be
Yeah.
different.
And I think there's only like so far that the comedian excuse can get you. There's only so far that road is going to take you.
Right.
In fact, I get that there are certain people that take offense. I mean, look at what happened with Dave Chappelle. He was on stage up at the Hollywood Bowl, and then Craze fan that was an advocate for the LGBTQ plus XYZ community went on stage to try to attack him, but then that fan literally got stomped out by everybody in the in the goddamn neighborhood, and then got arrested.
Went to the left, and didn't quite go the way he thought.
Got him on a stretcher, looking like he got a chicken wing out here.
What? No way.
Yes, they stomped that man out. And it's like
Beat the living
he was
crap out of him.
already getting attacked for his Netflix special in which he was talking about the LGBTQ community, which I find ironic. Where it's like, if you say anything remotely negative about the LGBTQ plus community, they're the ones to attack you. Meanwhile, we're forced to say nothing but nice, and yet they're able to say everything negative about us. But yet, when the shoe's on the other foot, they start getting defensive. I find that ironic.
Wow. What are you thinking, KT?
Yeah, he does make a good point, actually.
Yeah, Jacinda, what are you thinking, beautiful? I don't know.
About that whole situation, I was in. I read about it, but I've been trying not to keep myself wielding negativity, like when it comes to the news.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming.
Yeah, because it gets to you. And you say, like, you get mad, you can have a good day, and then you say, like, oh my God, but I can. And sometimes you're afraid to give your opinion because.
You don't know
Yeah.
where people lie, right?
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
so you just have to
It's like
keep
giving
it
your own
moving.
opinion.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's like
Right.
it's no more like freedom of speech no more. I thought it was freedom of speech.
Yeah.
But
Right.
they turned freedom
Right.
of speech into a hate crime or
Right?
Right,
or
which
taking
is-
it the wrong way or
Right, that's your First Amendment right, which is
Yeah,
actual
exactly.
freedom of speech. And then it's like if you feel like you don't want to say something, that's your Fifth Amendment.
Yeah.
I plead the fifth.
I plead the Fifth. So it's like
Well, you see what the Supreme Court's got going on,
I mean,
God.
that's a whole different
right? Hi,
discussion.
Georgina. How are you tonight, gorgeous?
I am good. How
Welcome
are
to
you?
the show, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. So just dive in when you get ready, girl. Just
Yeah,
dive
I
on in.
Came in. I'm just listening to y'all.
But yeah, I think just the bottom line when it comes to just comedians, they should still be able to feel safe to actually say their actual pieces, to actually say their jokes, but they also have to at the exact same time know that there is a line and that there are certain lines, especially with certain situations and certain people, that definitely should not be crossed.
Big cross.
Yes.
There
Totally agree
definitely
with
should
that,
definitely
yeah.
be like a boundary. Even if you are a comedian, it doesn't matter to me. Like there has to be a like boundary to where it's like, okay, you're punching low. That's a low blow.
Right.
That should not be allowed.
Okay, this is something I'm learning. Okay, we're gonna just get into here. We're gonna get into the sauce, guys. We're gonna start getting a little more right, a little bit more. All right, distortion. Rashid, can we look up that word distortion?
Okay, sure.
We're gonna go somewhere. We're gonna take a little ride tonight on this one. So the word distortion, or to distort, distorted.
Okay. Distortion. The act of distorting or the state of being distorted. Using the sentence, the virus causes distortion of the leaves.
What about distort?
And the action of giving a misleading account or impression. Which, perfect example of that more recently was the Johnny Depp Amber Heard, which was a distorted truth in which
Oh my God.
one person said, oh no, he did all this to me. Distorting the reality of the situation that you were the one that was indeed doing everything that you were saying that he did. So you tried to get the court of public opinion on your side early on. Turns out, once the truth comes out, the court of public opinion now turned on you.
What you thinking, Georgina? How was-
Definition
I
of
think-
distort.
Yeah, that is a great example of distortion. I remember when I first saw the case, I remember people were so quick to jump on Johnny Depp. Like, they were like, wow, I can't believe he's a woman beater. Like, and I was like, I mean, at first I was like, damn, like, that sucks. I was like, I love Johnny Depp. But, like, and I was like, that's not cool. But as soon as
Right.
everything started unraveling, the truth came out, and now I'm like, wow, like, she really tried. I mean, eventually, like, yeah, once the truth came out, so that is definitely the definition of distortion. What happened?
Distortion. It's just like sometimes they're just things are just an act of misleading. Things just don't really balance, right? It's the view is a little off-putting. And the only reason why I was thinking of that is that perhaps, in my opinion, I feel that, and we'll move on to the next episode, is just, I think perhaps Will's reaction to the joke, or even if it was a jab, maybe I think the reaction was a little bit distorted. I think Rock's action and then Smith's reaction, I believe that reaction viewpoint was a little distorted. That's just where I was thinking.
Oh, definitely. Like,
You know, and that's it. And it's a mistake because I've
was
made so
definitely
many. That's why I can
something-
draw the parallel because I've done it so many times. So yeah.
Oh yeah, in fact, Mama, the action and the reaction were definitely completely lopsided. In fact, Mama definitely went over the top with the reaction. But I think what hurt people the most about that when it happened was the fact that it happened on a big stage at the Grammy at that
Academy
The Oscar,
Awards.
the Academy, the
Yeah.
Oscars.
yeah, the Oscars, the that's the Academy Awards, and this was the first time that you had an African American actually behind the scenes in charge of the Oscars. And you have that happen. And not only happen, but happen on live television. I think that's one of the things that just hurt people the most. The fact that that happened not only on live television, but literally that was the entire talk of the Oscars. The people weren't watching the Oscars. No one was watching the Oscars
Anymore.
It
But
was
then,
like
as,
that was the only topic of the Oscars.
but then, as soon as you heard Will Smith slap the shit out of Chris Rock,
Right. And you all, I know me.
Everyone tuned in.
It's so sad. It's
they were
just
like,
who we
"Oh,
are.
wait." They're like, "Hey, yo, World Star happened? Let's go!" And then you had
So
the infamous
bad.
line, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth." Like, okay, man. Okay, it was a G.I. Jane joke. It was a bad joke. Fact, it's like I get where you're trying to go with it, but the delivery was kind of bad.
Yeah.
Most because one was medical reason, the other one was trying to actually fit in, to actually get the recognition in the army that she felt that she deserved.
Yeah.
That's what G.I. Jane is.
Right.
She tried to fight for her recognition, shaved her entire head so that to show
Yes.
that she deserves to fit in.
Right. I know. There's so many multi-layers. I know. I just thought I'd ask about that because the only reason why I asked about that, I'm gonna just put it out there. The reason why I asked about that is because on the straight real, I got Spectrum, like cable TV right now, and the movie King Richard is like streaming right now. And I'm gonna be 100. I ain't even really watched it because my heart is like, fuck, Will, fuck. And maybe I shouldn't think that way because, like my daughter told me the other day, Mommy, those people stormed the Capitol. Why do we give a shit what people think about what Will Smith did at the Oscars? We should be more concerned about these people insurrection, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I'm like, yeah, you're right about that, you know what I mean? But just for real, from a Jackie Ray perspective, from somebody who grew up with Will Smith when he was, you know, throughout my life in his heyday bar, in terms of our ages, from everything he's ever done.
The cleanest rapper alive.
I mean, even yes, that, and regardless of that, or because of that, but it's Will Smith. You know what I mean? He went places that, at a time in my life of watching people of my age, black people in the acting career, you had your Martin Lawrence. You remember with this anniversary with Martin right now? You got your Tisha Campbells and your Tashina Arnolds. We got this era of the '90s, right? In my little heyday, if you will, and it's like, okay. We got some good stuff going on, you know. And then you're right, Rushy. He is a clean rapper, and he's got the swag, and he's got this, and he gets NBC, and he's knocking it out the park, and he's done so many things. And I think the other big thing was, I remember he got the film with Gene Hackman, acting alongside Gene Hackman. It's like, whoa, because Hollywood, like, totally reveres Gene Hackman, and for the name Will Smith, Gene Hackman, it's like, whoa, you know. I'm just thinking him every, you know, I can't remember what night of the week he came on, but knowing once a week he's on, and it's like, my God, look at this guy's career. And it just propelled, and then you just see that this is just for me, you know. It's like, fuck, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I've seen abuse in relationships. I've heard a lot about it. This is my 6th year in radio. We've done so many shows on several different topics on this show. We've been blessed, and just me, I think that there's some abuse there. I think there's some psychological abuse. I think, which is what I see, I think the guy is abused a little bit in my heart. The way, I'm just being 100 and just being 100. What you take, like you said, Queen, about what you say and how you say it, and if you're gonna comment on things, if you don't comment on things. I'm being the most verbal I think I've ever been in my radio career, because people would tell me, you don't say anything. I'm always asking. I don't give an opinion. I don't want to say anything. Oh my God, I don't want nobody to think, oh, what if that tape comes back 5 years later, 7 years later, 20 years later, you said da 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 da, oh, you know, and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to say, oh. But being that person, and it takes a lot to, remember I was telling you at the beginning that this show's been very therapeutic for me, because it takes a lot to do some of the shows I've done that are directly affecting what I'm personally going through in my home. But I can come here and put on a show, I don't know if it's sick or afflicted, I don't know, and disassociate, if you will, and present that show and get the healing and the understanding and the information that I need without blasting out what's going on in the crib. Now, maybe if I wanted more ratings, yeah, that would be awesome. Oh my God, you guys tuned in. Jackie said this was going on and this happened with her daughter. But that's just not where I'm at right now. You know, I'm not willing to sell my soul for a rating, you know, which is probably why it is what it is. I'm just not there yet. I don't think I'll ever get there. It's just, I don't know. Ain't nobody put no zeros, that many zeros or commas in anywhere next to my name with a check for me to sell myself at that level, you know. But my point of all of that is to say, and I'm somebody. I was going to say I'm not a comparison. I used to compare my numbers or compare. Violence is comparison. You know, comparison is violence against the self. So this last couple of weeks, remember telling you the tip was off last week, you know, I'm just reassessing my life and myself and who I am and how I present myself and how I want to be seen when it's all said and done, right? I want what my legacy story to be, right? Job well done, good and faithful servant. But at the reality, I'm still on this planet and I have a lot of work to do. And this radio show is the caveat for that work. But also what I have learned is if I don't speak a little bit about my thoughts and feelings, then it may be, I'll put it this way, I think because I'm going to begin, I will begin to receive more from you all, from our listeners, from our guests, and from our followers. And so things will metamorphosize a little bit organically, because what I'm saying is, everybody, we have a large message. There's so much going on right now, as we all know. We're the gas, Roe versus Wade. Maybe we have to look at all of this. People, times are not as freeing as I think I would like to believe. I think this, for me, because I'm thinking about, maybe you guys work with me, I'm thinking about mental health. I'm thinking of all the shows that are coming back to me. I'm thinking of battered woman syndrome, and it's not just the women, because that's what I'm thinking about. It happens to the man too. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I was telling you about, that abuse pattern. But I'm thinking about that one girl down in Moorhaven, Florida, and she's walking home, and some weirdo, I'm gonna call him a weirdo, I don't care, some weirdo grabs her, of a male species, because you know now with the LBGT and the labeling, I'm just talking about a man and a woman from birth, decides to force himself on this young girl. Let's say, I'm going to give her age, she's 14. Right? Him forcing himself on her, now she's pregnant. Right? She doesn't have any money. She's been raped. Now she's got to keep a baby from a rapist. What's going to happen to her? Because this will happen. It happens already. But at least you have options, right? And this is just one little girl I'm picking up osmosisly down in Moorhaven, Florida, which is where my mother grew up. And tragedy. I remember some very tragic stories. I've seen some myself. We used to visit there as a child. But how many of those young girls will there be that will find themselves, and not just her, the one at the frat party, right? This is the girl who knows she ain't just this little 14-year-old who's vulnerable by a predator. This one here is at USC, and she's at a frat party with her sorors, and she looks like us, and she's minding her business, and she's doing her thing. Some other chick, right, don't like her, don't like the way she looks, she don't like her hair. She thinks she is. Look at that melanin. She thinks she
Hating
all
on
that.
her already.
You turn around. This weirdo done put some stuff in your little cocktail. You didn't even move. Because now they getting more crafty with it. Used to be back in the day, you be like, don't leave your drink. And you leave your drink, don't ever go back to it. Take your drink with you. Don't ever leave your drink. Nowadays, they gonna get your drink right in your face, low-key, on the low, right? Because they done got a whole decoy system set up for this kind of trickery, right? So, boom, they done put that Mickey in there, right? You just still partying, hey? Old boy and old girl, because she knows she done spiked your junk. So, they just waiting for you. They just waiting for you, right? So, now you dizzy, woo. You got to go to the ladies' room. You're like, man, damn, they gave me way too much tequila. Shit, that 1800 hit me hard tonight. Woo! Catch you going down the hall, catch you slipping, boom, duck you off in the room, boom, got you, tie you up, do whatever they want to do to you. Then after that, you end up pregnant. This college campus happens all the time. Probably happening right now, sadly. If we look at the statistics, I bet you it is. Not bet, it is. Special Victims Units has made SVU has made a $1 billion industry out of real stories about these things that happen. And now a right as a female, a woman that you had. And I know somebody probably gonna get me about this one, but this is the time I said I'm unleashing. You ain't got that right no more, and I'm just telling you guys, girls, ladies, queens, and divas. This just, whoo, it just sets you like, damn. So now you just gonna force us to populate. What you done fucked up. Now you want us to go back and just woo, 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 right? You just done turn womanhood back like 7,500 years. On the real, that's just how I feel. I don't know, am I going way too deep on this? But go ahead, Rashi.
So, when it comes to the verdict of Roe versus Wade, this has been an ongoing battle for like 12 years. It's been an ongoing battle. But started to turn back in 2016 when number 45 was put into office, and he appointed a Miss, let me get her name real quick, make sure I'm saying it correctly. Her name,
Make America Great Again. Remember that?
Her name is Marjorie Dannenpfizer. For those that don't know, Marjorie Dannenpfizer, she is a pro-life activist. She is in charge of, let me actually get you the full
spectrum.
The full spectrum of who she is. She is the president of the Susan B. Anthony Pro-Life America, an American political organization that seeks to advance anti-abortion women in politics. Now, it was at her behest with President 45 that we had Supreme Court justices that were put in place that were already against abortion. You know that, good old Christian value of, a life begins at the conception.
Yeah.
That's where life begins, right? But it's like they fail to realize that there are medical reasons why an abortion is appropriate. Because I don't know if y'all know, but death still happens during birth. They haven't gotten the death rate of a pregnancy down enough to where it's basically 0%. It still happens. There are still complications when it comes to pregnancy. Things happen in pregnancy. You got an umbilical cord, baby growing the wrong way, baby like he's like his head is literally in your guts.
So many things.
Like destroying you from the inside out. And it's like, if we don't get this baby out, you're going to die from eternal bleeding. So it's like, it's no longer a federal issue. That's what Roe versus Wade was all about.
Okay.
Was making this a federal, where it's like abortion federally. Back in my mom, y'all can do what y'all want. Now, because of the overturn of Roe versus Wade, you've left it in the hands of the states. So basically, depending on the person that you have in charge of your state, he can nay or say whether or not you have the right to have an abortion.
Yeah.
And it's like, in California, you can have an abortion.
Right, today.
Yeah.
Christina, I'm sorry, Georgina, what are you thinking about that?
Well, that's heartbreaking. I remember I was at work when I found out, and my friend, she had posted, like, every boss right now should give their female employees a day off, because this is just heartbreaking all over. It's sad that women in these states don't have a choice with their bodies, and that's just plain wrong. So yeah, it's been tough. It's been really
And staggering.
tough. Yeah, because I feel for those women. I'm like, we're in California, so we have that choice, and that's.
Yep, I can give the states that actually, in which you actually have that option, that choice, and it's only a handful. There's California, there's Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Alaska, Hawaii, Colorado, New Mexico, Minnesota, Illinois, New York, New Jersey. I believe that's New Hampshire and Maine.
Now, what do you think about the inability for women to cross state lines? Have you heard about that discussion?
So basically, to actually further explain
That's extreme, but just saying.
No, to actually further explain that. Say, for example, you get pregnant in Texas. The closest place that you can go to get an abortion would be New Mexico. So, if they find out that you went across state lines to get an abortion and then come back, they can federally charge you with a crime.
Wow.
That is ridiculous.
So cold-blooded. It's so cold-blooded.
That is crazy.
I'm just saying. I'm just like, dang, y'all. That is so cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. I don't know. It's a little bit.
Yep.
What do you think of KT? Even for the brothers be like, dang, man, I forgot. That plan B gonna come in real handy for folk.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If that's still around.
Right, and another thing when it comes to the fellas, I mean, I get that women want us to...
What about the trapping issue? You know what I mean? Some
Right.
ladies trapping these.
Right, and it's like, back in mama, women... When this went down, what was it, Thursday, Friday? Back on
Sobering. I can't remember. It's just shocking.
When this went down,
Friday?
when it happened, Thursday night, I've seen women on my timeline asking the men to speak up, to just
Say something.
speak out loud. When I think some people have to realize that some men, I say majority of men, they don't really speak out, especially on social media. They have the discussion, they have the talks, but they don't really post about a lot of things on social media. We can have the discussion, we can have the talk, but
You don't want that everlasting imprint out there, right?
Right, back in my mind. Don't want that everlasting imprint that's like we do nothing. But it's like we do stuff behind the scenes. We're there with you. But just because we're not putting ourselves out there in the front lines on social media, again, it's social media, doesn't mean that we're not out there trying to fight that fight.
Got it.
Because a lot of us still say that what was just voted and overturned is still wrong.
Right.
And now this same person is trying to take the fight to us
Oh my gosh.
here in California, which I'm like, I don't think you want any of this smoke out here in California. I'm letting you know right now. You want none of what we have to offer here as a mostly unified blue state. I say mostly unified because we still have our issues
Yes, we do.
here in California, but that's besides the point, especially high ass gas prices.
I know, and we don't have a break, guys. But look, but what you do have is you got comedy, and you got acting, and we've got producing, and we've got writing, and we've got all of this joy that comes out of like that pressure. You see what I'm saying? I know it's a place, a safe haven to go and do your art and just kind of like, let it all out, because how else will we deal, right, with some of it? We've got to have an outlet. I was going to ask you, Georgina, about your art and your talents, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, so I'm an actress and a writer and a producer.
Okay.
So, I mainly have been creating my own art. I've been writing my own films, producing them, and showing the world.
Well, see, I think we should just do a little bit of a reintroduction. KT, could you just give a little bit of a recap, and we can reintroduce to Georgina as well as any new listeners that are tuning in?
My name is KT. I'm from the Inner Empire.
Hey.
I do a little bit of music, acting myself. I'm a clothing designer, so I design my own clothes. That's pretty much
All right.
I'm not on the producer tip yet though. Seems pretty cool though. Definitely, I wanna direct my own movie or something.
See, I love that. Jacindy, if you don't mind, please.
Hi, my name is Gisendi Trinidad. I'm an actress, writer, producer, director, and first assistant director too. So,
see, that's why I wanted you guys to reintroduce yourselves to see all the commonality that we have together, and that art and the passion and what drives us to just go the extra mile and just do it. What are some of your passions, Georgina, when you're doing your writing and your producing? What generally drives you?
So I'm Afro-Latina, so I'm Black and Latina, and what drives me is growing up not seeing the representation that I felt like there was a lack of representation in that. So I write stories, Black Latin stories. So it drives me just to give a voice to those who haven't been heard. So,
That's so said I have a great nephew who he tells me he's Blaxican. He said me, Jaja, he told me last week. This is my sister who's not with us tonight because she's with him. And so, we always say, because the mom's in the DR. Commonalities. That's what he tells me so much. He is just a handful, my God. Jaja, that's what he calls me. It's just a piece of work. Well, anyway, I don't know. I just thought I'd share. But I don't know. He tells me, I'm Blaxican. Okay, and I'm a king. I'm like, yes, you are. He just told me this last week when he came over. But it is definitely necessary for us to create our own, which is why I did what I did with the show. You know what I mean?
yes.
When I started the show, it was right after, my sister and I, we own a small production company. I'm like you all, we just create, right? If something there, let's make our own, right? So we're Gingy Productions, an entertainment company, and we were putting on plays, live theater productions. My sister is the associate dean right now, and also was dean of the School of Theater and Dramatic Arts at USC, and she's been doing that for a very, very long time. So she knows a lot about the theater and the structure. And one of my passions is acting and writing and poetry and spoken word and all of those fun, exciting things, right? Yeah, like you all. And so we decided we would put that together. And so we did our very first live theater production in the city of Compton, which is where we're from. And we did Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye. And we were able to do it at the Douglas Dollarhide Center. And it just meant so much to me and my sister for the legacy of our family. My mom and my dad, who literally dedicated their career to educating the children and students of the city of Compton. My mother worked 45 years for Compton Unified School District, and I'm a product of Compton Unified. My sister's a product of Compton Unified. Several other greats. My passion was that we were told that good things don't come from Compton when I was growing up. I would liken that now as an adult to Jesus of Nazareth when they said that good things didn't come from Nazareth. Jesus came from Nazareth. I choose to believe. But it's very important to me to do the show because it gives a voice. I know, but this is where I'm going. When I wrote my book and when me and my sissy did the play and you want to get your voice out there, it was really difficult to do that for me because when you're thinking you had to go mainstream, right? And mainstream wasn't always happening for us, or didn't happen for me the way I thought it should happen, or where you see it, or whatever you envision at said time. But one thing I just knew is that, like you said, you kind of got to create your own way. And if it's not something there, then you need to find your best foot forward and put your best foot forward and try and create something. So when I wrote my book, and me and my sister, we did the book tours and we did all that, and I just kind of remember like, dang, it would be cool if I had some place to go to be straight 100 where I didn't have to pay a whole lot of money, because everything I did, it cost me and my sister, because she's always on my team and investing, some money. It's like, fuck, okay, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But at the end of the day, I'll put it like this. When I was writing my book and when I was doing first, starting out and getting out there, if I had a platform like this where I could have gone where somebody wasn't trying to charge me $100 of airtime, you try to charge me $50 just to come on here. You know what I mean? Oh, she want $100. That kind of a thing. And it can be discouraging. I was blessed in some of those instances where I was able to participate, but like some of my other counterparts were not able to do so. So part of the show is to be able to have a voice, right? Because I didn't have a voice, and so I'm like, oh my God, I can offer a voice to some more people that come from just a person like me, older in life. I've raised my family. I've been married over 30 plus years. It's like, it's time for me to have some fun, right? Like I told you, my mom's no longer here. All of those obligations are gone. So let me do something that's going to be fun for me. So it allows me to be able, to really do that and give myself a voice and give a voice to others. So that was kind of like the passion driven behind the show. But just wanted to let you all know that I'm not too off the keel from where you all are and understanding. So that's why I was asking those detailed questions about songwriting earlier in the show and what motivates you and why. Because I'm likening your story to when I call them lyrics when they come in my head when it's time for me to write. And I just say I take it from the Holy Creator, because I can be like, usually I'm cleaning. I don't know what that's about, but generally I'm cleaning, right? And I think maybe because when I'm cleaning, I'm in my zone, and you're kind of like, and then you hear it, and you'll hear it. Like, usually if it's something comes in my head, first time you're just like, da, da, da. Second time they're like, whoa, okay, duh. Third time in your head, duh. You need to write this down, get his attention, That's how it kind of first started for me. And it's like, okay, he wants my attention. Okay, Lord, what do you want me to say? And you just and then it just starts flowing. You take the time and then sit down and then learning the parts where you're in the groove and when you're letting the spirit flow through you and you're just writing that down. And then when you come back in and join with those thoughts and writing down those lyrics or writing down or creating that piece of work that you're going to produce on that silver screen that you can already see coming to life. So that's why I was asking those detailed questions about how does that work inside of you, because just likening, of being of like kind. And I think for me, at this juncture in life, and as the world turns and what's happening and what I see, I think it's more important for us to bond and give. And I think about earlier times of like bartering, or times when, because it's tough out there, gas is going up. I mean, come on guys, it's hard. you're getting, everything is more and more expensive, but what you receive for me, I'm noticing what I receive for the amount of money that I'm giving, like a basic sandwich. Today I bought a Lee's sandwich, had it come to mind. Usually a Lee's sandwich is about this size and length. It's about a little more than 6 feet an inch, right? And you get your little, meats, cheese. I've been not doing that. But anyway, today I ordered this sandwich. But today I was a little taken aback when the sandwich arrived. Cost me a little bit more, 50 cents more on the dollar. And then the sandwich had shrunk about a quarter in length. And I'm like, wow. Okay, you want more of my money, but then I'm going to get less of the product. Same thing. You want more of our fucking gas money. And then I can't go anywhere. Before I used to put $75 and I could go this many times. Now I get $75, I can go 3 times. It's just a big fuckery. And it's like, when does it stop? And it doesn't seem like it's stopping. So I figure in times like this, we need to just like community. You know what I mean? I think about just when times are tough, and community makes a difference. I know I'm rambling. I'm going to shut up and turn this table over to you guys. What are your thoughts on this subject, KT?
Gas is definitely getting high. Definitely, yeah. It got me like I'm finna go buy a bike or something.
No,
For real.
it's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I do feel you. What is the word that they just inflation? Yeah, inflation is real. I really didn't realize how real it was since before I came an adult. But since now I'm an adult and I'm paying for a lot of stuff that I usually didn't have to pay for. I'm really seeing the difference in it, really.
I know.
But gas is definitely one of them, though, for sure. And I don't see when it's coming down anytime soon.
I know. It's like, is anybody
It
like
looks
trying
it's
to
keep
do
going
anything?
up, honestly. We were just driving and we seen gas almost like $8-9. Yeah.
Because already, it was like the other day, I'm in like the Long Beach area. And I was like, damn. And it hit me for like $6.99. That's the first time I had hit that 7 mark. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. It just hurts my stomach. I know. Anyways, that's what I'm saying. You got to do nice things. That's crazy.
It is.
It's just, I don't know, guys. I don't know. What are you thinking,
It used to be
Georgina?
like $3.45.
Right?
It should be, I mean, that's why I got a hybrid. That helps a little
Yay.
bit, but
Yeah.
a little bit, but it's still very high. I don't know. I might get a bike. So.
What about public transportation? Just
After
Just
you
say
have a
people.
car, you don't see yourself getting public transportation.
I just heard this on the radio the other day.
If it
Public transportation out here is hectic.
Yeah, and plus after COVID and
COVID.
all of
After
that,
the
it's
pandemic.
like you
It's
don't
too
want to
much.
be
Yeah.
It
around
can't.
a lot
Probably
of
be
people.
more late trying to use public transportation than using your car.
Definitely.
Yeah, even cars are expensive right now.
I guess that was obviously the Metro commercial that I heard the other morning on the radio, trying to get people to go through public transportation. So yeah, they were like, well, you don't have to worry about the expenses.
I mean, I get now, like, especially in California, that they're building those metro lines, especially all throughout like downtown LA, just like they had the metro line that's going through Long Beach. But at the exact same time, there's only a limit to like how far those lines go, because yes, we have that line that's going down. What is this, 105? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
is that the goal line?
Yep. Yeah, that goal line that literally goes from Paramount all the way down to basically LAX.
I used to take the public transportation. Do you ever done public transportation here in LA? No.
I have, yeah. I used to take it a
Yeah?
lot, and then the pandemic hit, and I was
Yeah,
like, no.
I took it when I was in high school for like a couple of months, and then they took my bike. And so I had to then make a call for them to deliver my bike back
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
for me to get home.
Oh my
Oh
god.
wow.
I did it for about a year and a half when I worked downtown LA. I found it, but that was, eons ago. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. You know, but it was good to have the option. It was good to have the option. You know what I mean? To go back and forth, like to get drop in your car, be like, oh, let me get in my car.
Yeah, I did it all throughout college.
You did?
So I was in theater school, and I was just taking, public transportation, and that helped.
And where did you do your theater school?
I went to LACC, so Los Angeles City College.
Yay!
Right there.
That's right.
So that was like 3 years of public transportation. So,
What made you choose theater?
I feel like I just come from a family of artists. Like my dad was an actor in Havana, Cuba. So,
Wow.
Yeah, and my sister's also in the arts too. She's a musician, and my brother too, music producing, and I feel like we're just all artists.
Yes.
creative.
Just wondering, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you're like, hey, what are you thinking, pretty lady? What's on your mind right now?
No, before you guys were talking about economy and all of that, like, I don't think people are paying attention what is really this year is about.
Okay.
This year is more about the emotional and the economy.
Okay.
And when I say the emotional, is like we all have to do a more like healing and forgiveness. Because if you notice, nobody's talking about it, but how many people committed suicide this year because of the mental health? How many people come through social media and say, I'm depressed?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm actually glad you spoke
That's
on
what I'm
that.
saying.
I've been thinking about that for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mental health is really real especially for the men too. 'Cause, we're taught to like hold all our emotions in,
Right.
and we can't really talk to nobody. And when we do, we seem weak.
That's
And,
unfair.
Yeah, so like I know a lot of young men been growing up dealing with a lot of things that we really don't speak on no more. Dealing with the society and where we grew up in, certain family members or like death of certain family members or because of the way they live or absent parents, and a lot of that stuff really messes us up in the head,
And I think
we-
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, and we can't just come out on social media and just say like, "Oh, I'm depressed," because it'll look like we're just looking for attention, And then
Yeah.
it's not a lot of people out there that's just gonna understand. Like just look at a story post or an Instagram post, that person saying, "Oh, he's depressed," and a lot of people won't look at it like, "Oh, I should check up on him." They're just gonna look at it like, "Oh, we all got problems."
Right,
Next,
right, right.
And I think it's pretty fucked up, excuse my French, but really it is, and not a lot of people take enough time to check on other people or really call them or actually see how they're doing and actually tell them like everything gonna be all right. Like a lot of people don't hear like, I'm here with you, everything's gonna be all right, or like have a lot of support,
Right.
But are they really there for you? Because this is another thing. Like
Exactly.
we live in a city, and let's say when it comes to California, when it comes to LA, plus in the industry that we are, like for example, sometimes I don't want to come and tell one of my closest friends that I think they are close to me and say I'm going through this, because you don't know if they're gonna think, oh, you being negative, or they're like, oh, they're gonna really feel sad
you
for
coming
you,
from?
or they're really gonna be there for you. In this industry, like you're gonna find a lot of the people that you like when you're going up. Let me tell you, I lost so many friends this year
Whoa.
Nah.
that I was
serious.
just like,
No,
I was
really.
just like, I was crying and say,
Girl.
God, I'm losing people, but at the same time, it's like, well, Gisanti, you losing these people because I don't wish them bad at all. I love them. I need to love them from afar. But when I see that I'm going up, and you are not really happy for me, and you're gonna try to make me feel less for whatever I'm doing,
Right.
you are not my friend.
There you go.
They was never there from the
And
beginning.
exactly, or they don't wanna invite you to certain things because you're gonna outshine
That
them,
part,
That's what it be.
or because they know you have something that they don't have.
all of it. It's all of it.
So I start learning to say, okay, I'm going to events by myself. Because if
You
you're
better
gonna
off.
make so and so to feel some type of way, and we're gonna go into a discussion, I'm like, where is this argument coming from? What did I do to you? And then you start realizing, hold on, like, for me, I'm very outspoken. I always say how I feel. I always express myself. I'm very, like, direct.
Yes.
And some people taking it the wrong way. But it's the thing for me that I prefer to people to be open with me.
Yes. Yes.
Because a true friend is gonna call you out on your bullshit.
True that. True
They're
that.
gonna
true
tell you the
that.
truth.
That's
And some
so
people,
true.
they don't like to listen to the truth.
That's true. That's true.
So because I've been through my whole thing, when the mental health, that I was like, oh, I'm kind of sad, or I feel kind of depressed, I'm not gonna talk to anyone. I just talk to God, and I just pray to God.
Yes.
And I say, you know my heart more than
Yes, He
anyone.
does.
You know my intentions. You know what I want to do here.
Yes, He does.
Because the only person that I feel that the only one is gonna be God for me.
That is so
Friends
true.
comes and go, yeah, but the real ones, they're gonna be there for you regardless your situation.
Yes.
And that's the thing here. We are like, most people are in competition with you. You don't even know
You don't
about
even know it. You don't even know it. You just doing you, then all of a sudden you see you like that,
Yeah.
right? It's the way the game go. That's that social media. It's a cold piece of game, man.
Yes, definitely.
It's a cold piece, right?
Get you a dog, get you a pet. I got a dog and I got a bird now. And I'm like,
And then you kind of wonder on the straight real. You say to yourself, well, I'm saying to myself, and you say, you look at levels, right? Right? Almost like Mario Brothers, right? It's like, okay, I play that first of the Mario Brothers, and and then the next level, you got this big monster at the end, and you got to beat her ass, and you got to throw daggers at it, right? But it's like
Bowser.
levels, right?
Yeah, I know.
And it's like, for me, I'm just talking about me, just this radio game, 5 years, 6 years in it, and you get to a point, right? You do this and you do this, and then here they come. The piranha. And then you got, is this one my friend? Is this one not my friend? And you swimming, and you're like, and then you be like, oh, wow, oh, you did this. You said you was going to do that, and you didn't do that. Oh, then you did me like this. Oh, you did me like that, and you got, I don't know if you guys, is this anything like that? You know, if you feel that way, and then you got to keep going, and you got to keep going. And then you get to a point, and then sometime on the straight wheel, I don't know, a sister like me, you get tired. Sometimes you just get tired. So I'll just kind of pull over a little bit, right? I'm like, I'm gonna duck off. I'm not even gonna go on social media for like a week. I'm finna just duck off. And I realized, which could be a counterintuitive thing in terms of branding, because then something's like, every day that I go and I'm not on there, I become more and more comfortable with myself. And the third day going, I'm like, damn, whew, feel kind of good, you know? And then day 4 or 5, next thing you know, you're like, damn, I ain't checked my social media in like a week. And you're like, oh my God, let me get back up. If I don't get back out there, and you start losing your followers, and you start losing the momentum, and you got to get back out there again. And then you're like, okay, all right, y'all, am I ready? But I'm telling you guys, this last couple times, it's been like, all right, Jackie, am I really? Am I finna go back out here again and go just get out in here with the giddy up? And sometimes it's like, damn. But I'm gonna keep going, y'all. I can't even make it stop. You know what I mean? You just gotta keep back. You just gotta keep going. You just gotta keep going. But I hear you and I feel you. But you just gotta do like what you're saying, sis. Sometimes, not sometimes, but they say sometimes it gets lonelier at the top. My
yeah.
daughter
It really gets lonely.
They say you get lonelier at the top, and I guess that's a good thing. I don't know what it is.
Guys, so amazing. Okay, even when you try that you love a friend and you keep giving chances, he gonna make you like, you're gonna listen to conversations so you can get out of there. Like, cause it happens to me. I have this friend that I love so much for years. It was my, like, since I was little.
Yes.
And I heard, and like, you know, I was feeling like something was off until I heard a conversation that how she expressed herself about me, and that was so hurtful. I cried, and like, for me to get it over, it took me until now to say, you know what? I see her. I wish her the best. I have love from afar.
Yes.
But I know that you don't have any good intentions with me.
Right.
Because then when they realize that you know that they are not your friend, they try to ruin your reputation.
Yes.
They're trying to talk bad about you.
I gotta intercede. I was looking at a show and it was on VH1. They say first, this is it. This is the game. I'm putting you on. First, they want to see if they can fuck you, right?
Yeah.
Then when they realize they can't fuck you, then they want to fuck over you, right? And then when they realize they can't fuck over you, then they just want to get the fuck rid of you. They just want you to just go, right? They want to get you either way. So when they realize, like how you said, when they realize, oh, I see you. You didn't think I saw you because you thought all the Maybelline and the MAC, you thought I didn't see you. But I see you.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to act on what I see. And then when you start acting on what you see based on what they giving you, then they like, oh. And then they don't understand. Then now you tripping. Because you done flipped the script because you thought I was going to let you get me. But actually I got you before you got me. I don't know if that happens. You guys ever had that happen before?
Definitely.
Georgina?
Yeah, I noticed that some people, they want to see you succeed, but they don't want you to do better than them.
Right.
So as soon as that start happening and they start seeing you do better than them, then this is when that happens.
kind of trickery
it's
happens.
kind of sad, especially when it's like your friends. Because that's happened to me before, and I'm like, damn.
I know. You just
gotta
gotta
keep
take one.
moving.
You
just gotta
lost one
keep
for the
shining
team.
even, harder.
Then you gotta see. That's
You
the
just
thing
have
with
to keep
yeah,
going.
because that's why I think that's the duck off period.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, the duck off period is when okay, I saw you, I see you. Now I'm ducking off because you gotta heal.
Yeah.
Cause it's a little you gotta heal, and I think that's the part. You gotta regroup, like you said, and you gotta come back shining even brighter. So you're absolutely correct. KT, is it that treacherous on your side in terms of men?
Yeah, I gotta say yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't matter if it's man or woman. If the feeling's same, the results same. So definitely.
We've had some good I've had some good discussion. I feel like I'm talking.
Yeah.
What about you guys? You having a good time?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm having a
Yes.
great time.
I'm glad. I apologize or not, but I guess we've got some mood music. That's just the way we're going to chop it up. What do you think, Rashid?
Yeah, I think.
This is a rarity. This generally doesn't occur.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is just like just one weird moments where it's like we got like jazz in the background,
Yeah.
like, and then we got back in our actual discussion. So it's like it's just one of those rarities that like two things just happen to actually collide at the exact same time. So honestly, for the viewing audience, we definitely apologize,
I know, it's okay.
Yeah.
for the actual inconvenience that like this may be pressing on you. As far as just like friends go, like definitely had to cut off a few.
Really?
A few. It's just mostly just difference of views and just focus when it comes to just there's the sports world and then there's the real world. One person likes to stay in the sports world, meanwhile I like to dive into both sports and the real world. But it's like if you don't want to deal with the real world, with things that are going on, and like you don't want to have those discussions, then like what are we talking about? Well,
Yeah.
what are we having those back in my mind, what discussions are we having? And it's like back in my mind, there are certain things that like you need to change back in my mind on your side of the story back in my mind before we can actually be cool. And it's like I haven't talked to this person in months now, and it's honestly refreshing.
Right? So that toxicity, that's I think is the toxicity that can be like really, really definite. But sometimes it takes a while. I know for me, even sometimes I know for me, I don't know about you all, even when you know that it's a little bit mistreatment or it's a little catawonky, I still try to just keep the best attitude. You know what I mean? I always try to be the one to take the high road.
Yeah.
I generally always usually try to take the high road. Sometimes it sucks taking the high road. I shouldn't say it sucks, but it does suck sometimes being taking the high road. I went a period of time I didn't take the high road, like shortly after my mom's passing. I'm not even gonna front, and I don't know if that was the period of time like when you go through. I had the anger phase of mourning, right, and grief. And I'm just learning about them now because when it was happening, I was too grief-stricken to do it. But that anger phase, and so I kind of went through a phase where if I felt something, I just spoke it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I went through that phase of okay, I'm gonna take the filter off a little bit. Not like where I was like brazen being rude or anything. I'm just, but it's like okay, well, because usually I'm the type of person historically well. I don't, like you was mentioning earlier, I don't want to make a wave. I'm the one that, let's just go with the flow. I'm gonna, go along to get along, if you will, and that's not healthy. I learned the hard way. That's not healthy. Remember we were talking earlier about the distortion. Taking that, remember I was talking about the show and the therapy. It's a chapter out of my own life. What's healthy, what's not healthy, healthy communications versus non-healthy communications, being able to see what type of friendship is good, you know what I'm saying? Are you receiving, and even in social media relationships, you know what I'm saying, the relationships that are based on social media, am I receiving what I think I should receive, right? You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying, like, for instance, if you have, like my cousin, she and I, we would text. I'm gonna just give her a brief story. God bless her. She lost her son, was murdered 2 months ago. But we would text like in the mornings, but I'm usually the first one to initiate that morning text. Then it's that one morning where you go, why do I have to be the one? Maybe I'm tripping. Why do I have to be the one to text first? What happens if I don't text first before 7:30? What if I don't send that good morning, beautiful cousin first? What if I don't do that? What's gonna happen? So okay, then one day Jackie decides I'm not gonna send it today. First, I'm gonna see if she's gonna send it to me. Yeah. So then what happens is 9 o'clock and no response. Okay, maybe she just. It's 10 a.m. No, nothing, not a response. I didn't even get. All right, so now it's 12 noon. Wow. Okay. Well, maybe she's not feeling good today. She just wasn't gonna text. Anyway, then that was day 2, right? Mm-hmm. Then you wonder, really? So, what are we? Was I reading too much into our kinship? But then now I'm going to try on day 3, I'm going to text you first. So now I get up and do the routine again. And then you get that bounce back response. So, why could you not just text to see how I was doing during those 48 hours that you didn't hear from me? Were you as disturbed by my...
Did they at least acknowledge the missing text in the 48 hours?
Now, see, this is where the problem comes in, KT. This is where you got to pray for your sister queen down here. See, now, at this point, I'm a little perturbed. Because now I'm like, oh, okay, so it's like that? You ain't going to get out. I got to get... Okay, so now I'm feeling some kind of way. So once I'm feeling some kind of way, I generally don't say anything. That's where I was saying about the downfall. That's where distortion. That's probably not healthy for me to do. Because now I'm just looking at you in my mind sideways. Because why I always got to be the one to text. Why you don't ever text me. But I ain't really going to tell you that. Because the main reason why at this point I'm not going to tell you. Because what if I tell you? Yeah. And then you do that shit again. Now it's going to be real fucked up. Because now it's like, oh, you knew my sore spot. And then you just went and did this. Now we ain't gonna be friends no more. And maybe there's something wrong with me. Again, the distortion. So you see I'm working on myself. You see these words and choices. Maybe that's a distorted view of the situation. I don't know. What are you thinking? I know you're looking. What are you thinking? Do you ever feel like that sometimes? Or am I tripping, you think?
No, it's normal. I think we all be in that situation.
Yeah. And so it's kind of natural, huh? Okay.
It
that's
is.
not it. What about you, KT?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's pretty natural to think like that. I feel like things got to be a two-way street sometimes.
Yeah.
Definitely. So if I get up and I send that 7 a.m. text, I expect to receive a text back. Maybe I miscalculated, or I slipped and fell in the shower or something.
I know, right.
And you see something that's not regular routine. I think it should raise a red flag.
And you be like,
And then that. Maybe that was a good thing that you thought like that, because that way you can actually see the real people, their real colors, that might really happen.
But sometimes, I don't know, is that giving too much? I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I don't know. That's just me sometimes. I'm the reason why I'm having this whole debate with you guys.
I feel like, it has to be reciprocal, even in a relationship, friendship, or anything.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be mutual. If you are not getting the same, if they don't value the same way that you value them. So for me, I'm being cutting people down like right now, like that. Oh, so I'm putting all my effort just to see how you're doing, how you're feeling, and I'm not receiving the same. So what is this?
Yes. Well, I think what this is movie clip time. We've got some movie clips
Yeah.
we want to do tonight. So, if you could go on ahead and let's start with you, Jacinda, and if we can let Rashid know where we could go and find that. Georgina, if you can prepare yours as well, darling, in your head, so you can let us know where we're going to go.
Alright, here's the first movie clip that I got for you.
The trailer.
That's
Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
Okay, so Dummy Girls is a story of 3 girls that work as a karaoke hostess in Koreatown. So these 3 girls, they get paid to be hostess. Dummy could be, Dummy is the name in Korea, but here they call it most from model, escorts. You know, they get paid just to be a companion for all these guys that go to the karaoke until one of the girls get kidnapped. So the whole story is a series that I wrote and I shoot a proof of concept. This is only the trailer. This is not the proof of concept because the proof of concept is in film festival at the moment. It's been winning awards. I'm very happy about it.
Congratulations.
So it's been winning awards in Europe, London, Paris, Italy, and the Hollywood Gold Awards. Won an award too. It got selected in my country, in the Dominican Republic, right now. They watch it today and yesterday.
Okay.
They were watching in the film festival, and for the American Cinematography Awards, it got selected too.
Awesome.
So now I'm still waiting for the others film festivals.
Yes. What's the next one's up on the docket?
Which one?
What you got more film festivals that you're planning to submit?
Yes, I got into Sundance. I got into the Holy Shores and the Holy. A couple years.
Yes.
And more, like in Europe and all of that.
That is so exciting. Let's do it, Rashid, love.
That's great.
Not fucking call the cops, okay? No, you know what we do here. Do you pay taxes? Because I don't.
¡Se la llevaron!
We'll get her back.
Por esto no se queda así.
No.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's way cool. Awesome sauce. You gotta let us know more about that when the release and more details.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come back and tell us more?
Mm-hmm.
What's our next one?
Okay, this is Lead.
A lead.
Lead.
It's lead.
Lead.
Should I talk a little bit?
Please
about it?
do.
Yeah,
please.
so Lead, that's the first short film I starred in and I wrote and produced with my partner Leon Pierce Jr., who directed it. And it's about an ethnically ambiguous Afro-Latina actress who wants to make it big in the industry but finds it hard and finds that it's against her based on just her ethnically ambiguous appearance alone. So,
Let's go.
hope you enjoy.
I am Jeanette Romero, the daughter of immigrants who know the value of working hard for your dreams. I am an actor that, despite being sent out to ridiculous roles,
You missed a spot.
Perdóname, señorita Walker.
Can you just leave me alone?
Guess I gotta shake your ass then. Get him! Come on, motherfucker. Let me have some crack. I still show up and give it my all.
What is your background?
I have my resume and headshot here. I just graduated from a theater conservatory program.
No.
And
I mean, what are you?
I'm black and Latina.
We're looking for actresses with a bit more melanin, not so light skin.
No one knows what the fuck I am.
That's a good thing.
Mira, yo me pusiera enfrente del estudio del Netflix y diría, I am a star, and here I am.
You may not believe in me, but I believe in me. And I'm not giving up on what I was born to do. Because I'm that bitch.
Excellent.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I like the part where you stab guy.
Yeah, that was so
Yeah.
fun. I went Hollywood Shuffle on that. I don't know
Yeah,
if y'all seen Hollywood Shuffle, but that inspired me on making this.
I ain't be got no weapon. That's a good one. We got another Rashid? Oh, okay. I thought you was pulling up. What'd you say, Lord Rocco?
Huh?
I said, did you have any input, Lord Rocco?
About what I seen?
I'm sorry, no. Yes.
Oh no, these trailers are amazing.
I know.
that's how I heard. You know, I'm in casting, so that's how I heard about your Cindy, and I heard about Georgina, and I seen Georgina's movie, and it was beautiful. And I told her she had to come on the radio and just tell us more about it, and you know, how can we get it and see it? So you know, it's phenomenal. You know, when you run into things and you know that it can be bigger than it's supposed to be, and you want to help somebody push it forward. So that's what I wanted to do with her project.
Amen.
Definitely.
On the panel. So, and of course, I worked with KT before I put it in. Before, so yeah, that's what it's all about. Just pushing it down, just driving forward, and making sure the world knows about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Definitely thank you.
The word is out. Hey, what does that feel like? So, hey, what does it feel like for you all? Let's talk about that. The feelings, right? Emotion. What does that feel like?
It feels amazing. Wait, like, so just talking about like just making my first film. Right now we're in talks with some people, some good big people who are interested in turning it into a show. So people, when they saw the film, they're like, oh, this looks like a pilot. So they're in talks of making it into a show. So coming soon. I know it's screening at the Pan African Film Festival.
Yes.
And we need to submit to more festivals because this is my first time submitting to festivals, and I need to submit to more. But I've gotten a lot of great feedback, and I'm happy about that. I've been inspiring people.
Yes.
After seeing the film, yeah, I can definitely share the film with y'all. You know,
yeah, we gotta see that. Absolutely. I want to, thinking about Gabriel, which is, like I said, my little great nephew. That'd be good for him. You know? It's good for people to know who we are. I think so, at least. I don't know. Just a thought. What about you, Rashid? You got any preparatory parting ways that would like for you all to prepare your handles so we can let all of our listeners know how to get in touch with you, how to follow you so that they can see all of these amazing films and acting roles and producing and writing. So, yeah, Rashid, on you, and then we're going to do handles.
Okay. So, yeah, this has been an fantastic
Yeah?
episode of the Poetry Show with Jack Greenfield here on jacksradio.com and radio.net. Back on. Thank y'all for actually joining us here and actually sharing in the discussion topics and just sharing a little bit about yourselves so that we can actually get a little bit of a deep dive into the small pool of the larger portion of your mind. We got a small sample of what you're doing and exactly what you're capable of. And like we appreciate that here at the Poetry Justice Show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rashid. Please, Georgina, if you let everyone know how to find you and your amazing work.
So my IG handle is Georgina_Jeanette. That's my middle name. So GEORGINA_JANETTE.
Awesome sauce. And for you, sir?
My Instagram is at KT_Dinero, DINERO. You can find me on YouTube at KT Dinero. My clothing brand at official_bandlife_clothing.
Well, thank you so much. And you, Gisendi?
My IG handle is Gisendi Trinidad _official. It's YISSENDY TRINIDAD.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness. YaksRadio.com. It's about that time, Rashid. It's almost time for us to get ready to get up out of here. You had a good one? I know. So what do we have next week on the docket, Lord Rocker? What do you have, sir? Battle of the Sexes. This is coming up next week. And I hear there's all new exciting stuff going on with the Battle of the Sexes. New, like, in-depth. I ain't gonna say anything. Like, new games and everything. You're not gonna do in this episode? You're not in this episode?
Too many times I've been a part of these battles.
You get so involved, don't you?
Keep me out of it. Keep me as a referee.
You need to do it.
As the official when I'm blowing the whistle. Okay?
Oh my God, guys! Thank you so much for joining us. We had a good turnout, guys. We had pretty good feedback. And then I'll have your tapes for you, everyone. I'll have the audio version for the show for you, as well as the YouTube version for you. So
Okay,
we'll have
gotcha.
both, and you can have it forever archived. And then you can also always find this on the Accelerated Radio app. You can just find it there. Even the Yikes Radio, we have Accelerated Radio. We have our own app, and if you go to Accelerated Radio app, you'll find the show. You'll find Yikes Radio. So we are there forever archived, and you can find us wherever you can find every podcast. So we're so much more. Yeah, everywhere. We're everywhere, everybody. So thank you so much for tuning into the Poetry of Justice show. Jackie Ray Phillips on YikesRadio.com and AcceleratedRadio.net. Have a good night.